how can I support my partner if they're questioning their gender? So I think that there are a lot of ways to think about and look at this. And I think that number one is just like, take your lead from them. Some people, when they're questioning their gender, might want their partner to like help them process it and think about it and explore it. Some of them might want just like space, but not have to like talk about it or answer questions about it. Everyone can be really different about how they explore gender. And so talking to your partner about what support for them would look like in that can be really helpful. Some people want support in the form of like going to a store to help them shop for clothes. Some people want support in helping them find a therapist or an affirming healthcare provider, right? Like there are lots of different ways you can support someone, and the kind of support that one person wants or needs could be really different than the kind of support another person wants or needs. A book I strongly recommend is Gender Magic by Ray. Oh my gosh, how am I forgetting their last name? Let me look it up. So Gender Magic is by Ray McDaniel, and it's a really interesting book about like the exploration of gender and what that can look like for a lot of different people. And so even if you are someone just supporting a person who is exploring their gender, it can be a good read for you to get a better understanding of like what that's like and different ways of thinking about it and approaching it. Some people, when their partner questions their gender or transitions in some way or changes their understood gender identity, sometimes partners can have a problem with that, or it can bring up a lot of feelings in them. The thing that I would say is there's this great model about supporting people when they have like serious health issues. Like I think the example given was cancer. And the advice kind of boiled down to support in, dump out. So like the person at the center who's dealing with the issue directly, they are at the center of all of these circles. If you are their partner, you're one circle out. So your job is to support in, to support that person who's exploring their gender. If you're having hard feelings, if you're struggling with it, if it's bringing up a lot of stuff for you and you're not sure what to do about it, dump that out. Don't talk to your partner about that. Talk to someone else about it. There may be times where you do have to talk to your partner about it, like if it means that you don't know whether you would want to continue in the relationship. But for most of the kinds of things people would want to process with their partner, it's much better to process that with someone other than your partner. A friend of yours, a therapist of yours, someone you are close to who is not your person going through that gender transition. Because if you try to get them to support you around your feelings, now they are not only holding the difficulty of transition and exploring their gender and all those questions, but also your feelings about it and what that might mean in terms of how it impacts the relationship and how you're doing. So support in, dump out. I think too that it's important to remember that like gender is a journey for all of us that we are all constantly on and evolving, right? Like if you don't dress the same way that you did 10 years ago, your gender is still growing and evolving. If you don't have the exact same relationship to your body that you did 10 years ago, your gender is still growing and evolving. One of the things that people most misunderstand about the framework of gender being performative is that that doesn't mean like you're like putting on a show. It means that our gender exists because we do it. That like the way that we do gender around and for and with others is what creates that gender. So like there is no concept of gender outside of a social construct to some extent. And what that means is that all of us are constantly evaluating and exploring how we want to embody the gender that we experience at that time. And so I think that there are just ways in which it's important to remember that your partner exploring their gender is not doing anything significantly different than most people are doing. They just might be doing it on a slightly different scale. Yeah, I think that's most of my advice is like read some good books. If you're really struggling with it, if it's giving you a lot of feelings, get a therapist of your own to process it. Because again, support in, dump out.